Hello, creative journalers, and welcome to Habit, Heart, and Possibility. This channel is all about journaling, gentle productivity, cozy routines, reading life, and gentle planning. If that sounds like your kind of space, tap that like button so YouTube knows to share with more creative planners like you. Today, we're beginning something new here on the channel. Over the next few months, I'll be sharing a series called The Gentle Art of Journaling. Each week, we'll explore a different journaling practice together. Today, we're starting with something very simple, clearing the mind. Often, thoughts feel crowded because they have nowhere to land. Writing gives them that place to land. All right. So there's a quiet shift that happens when you move thoughts from your mind onto paper. At first, it seems kind of small. And then when you pick up the pen and you write like a sentence and maybe a few words, something begins to change. Thoughts that felt tangled begin to slow down, and emotions that felt overwhelming begin to soften, and questions that felt confusing start to reveal their shape. This is the quiet power of journaling. For centuries, people have turned to journaling to make sense of their lives. Writers, thinkers, artists, ordinary people alike have discovered that writing allows you to see our thoughts more clearly than thinking alone ever could. When thoughts remain in our minds, they move quickly. One idea jumps to the next. Feelings mix together, questions overlap. But when we write, something remarkable happens. The pace slows. Writing forces our thoughts to move one word at a time. And in that slower rhythm, clarity begins to appear. Most of us believe we understand what we're thinking. Most of our thoughts, though, move faster than we realize. One worry leads to another, memory triggers dozens more. For long, we're overwhelmed by the thoughts that we can barely untangle. Journaling changes that experience. Writing gives our thoughts a place to land. Instead of circling endlessly in our mind, they settle onto the page. You begin to see them instead of chasing them. You begin to see them instead of chasing them. Often, when people first start journaling, they're surprised by what appears. They discover emotions they hadn't named, ideas they hadn't noticed, questions they didn't realize they were asking. The act of writing reveals what's already present but hidden beneath the surface. One of the reasons journaling feels so powerful is that the page listens without interruption. There's no need to explain yourself, no need to edit your feelings, no need to arrive with the right answer. You simply write. Some days your journal may hold a few scattered sentences. Other days it may fill the pages with reflection. Both are equally valuable. A journal does not demand perfection. It only invites honesty, and honesty often brings clarity. Our thoughts often try to keep the pace. We jump from conversation to task to notification to worrying without stopping to process what any of that means. Journaling interrupts that cycle. It creates a small pocket of time where the mind can breathe. When you write, your attention shifts inward. You notice what's happening beneath the surface. And that awareness can be incredibly grounding. Even 10 minutes with a journal can transform the way a day feels. Not because journaling solves every problem, but because it allows you to understand your experience more clearly. You may notice certain worries appear repeatedly. You may recognize moments when you feel most energized or most drained. You may discover that same question returns again and again until they are understood. These patterns are not problems, they're information. Your journal becomes a quiet record of your inner life. And through that record, you begin to understand yourself more deeply. If journaling feels new to you, it helps to begin very slowly. You don't need a complicated system. You don't need a perfect notebook. You only need a few quiet moments and a willingness to write honestly. Just start by asking a simple question. What's been on your mind today? No editing. Write whatever comes. No pressure to be insightful. Just notice what appears. Some days your thoughts might arrive slowly, and other days they'll pour onto the page. Perfect. And that's perfectly normal. Journaling is not about producing beautiful writing. It's about creating a space for your thoughts to become visible. And although we spend a lot of time beautifying, our pages, the words don't have to be perfect. The most meaningful journal practices are not the ones done perfectly. They're the ones we return to gently. Life will interrupt. Days will pass when writing doesn't happen. That is a part of the rhythm. A journal is not a record of perfect discipline. It's a place we return to when we're ready to listen again. Other prompts you may think of: what thoughts keep returning throughout your day? What emotions feel strongest right now? Allow yourself to write slowly. Let your thoughts appear one sentence at a time. You may be surprised at what you discover. Journaling doesn't change your life all at once, but it changes the way you see your life. And that shift in that perspective often becomes the beginning of clarity. one quiet page at a time. So, if you'd like to explore this practice more deeply, tomorrow's blog post talks about why journaling actually changes the way we think. Thanks for being a part of this cozy corner of habit, heart, and possibility. If you enjoyed today's video, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new journaling or gentle living video. And tell me in the comments. I always love hearing from my creative community. I'll see you soon.